The Department of Health records a decrease in suicide rates for 2018. Police continued their investigation into the death of Bob Hathaway, a British national resident in St. Lucia. At Masquerade Master, a special encore for Nobel Laureate Week. This is the CTV News. I am Natalie Fanis presenting. We begin with an announcement from the Department of Health concerning suicide. There was a decrease in the number of suicides recorded in 2018. We get the details from Fresnel Neptune.
According to the Department of Health and Wellness suicide report, the figures pointed to a drop for suicide rates in 2018 compared to previous years. St. Lucia has recorded 3 completed suicides for 2018 compared to 13 in 2017. Consultant psychiatrist Dr. Julius Gilead highlighted the changes in the suicide rates over the last 3 years.
As was noted, between 2015 and 2017, there was an average of about 7 to 8 completed suicides for the year, and that was after the National Helpline was started. But in 2017, there was a bump up to 13, which we saw a decrease last year to 3.
Dr. Gilead applauded the suicide prevention efforts of the department, especially with the support of the National Helpline and also sensitization activities. The consultant psychiatrist also noted that despite the decrease in suicide rates, the department will continue to embark on initiatives to mask significant gains in suicide prevention.
We plan on doing things a little better this year to continue to sensitize the public as to the presence of the helpline and to remind persons that it is there for them in case they're having suicidal thoughts. We as well want to go out a little more to the other communities because our efforts last year were centered mainly in Castries, apart from the TV ads. So we want to go out into the communities a little more to try to bring that help to persons out there who may not be able to come to Castries to be a part of whatever activities that we're having here.
Dr. Gilead is urging anyone whose life or whose loved one's life is in immediate danger because of suicide thoughts to call the National Helpline at 203. Reporting from the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health and Wellness, I am Fresnel Neptune.
Police are continuing their investigations into the death of Bob Hathaway, a British national who resided here. He was found dead at his home in Piat, Granivier, around 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, January 13th. It has been reported that a neighbor made the discovery. The police are expected to make a statement soon with more details from their investigation. In other news, the National Council for Persons with Disabilities has received a donation of wheelchairs and mobility devices. That gift comes from the international organization LDS Charities, which is sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Funding for the wheelchairs comes from individual donations from church members throughout the world. The donations will be assigned to selected recipients with appointments from January 14th to 18th at the Castries City Hall. Eligible recipients must have a disability and be able to sit upright unassisted. They must be in a position to be present for a 20-minute assessment and fitting at the Castries City Hall and must be above the age of 14. Please contact the National Council for Persons with Disabilities head office at 453-1539 or 716-3214 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 12 noon from Monday, January 14th to Wednesday, January 16th in order to set an appointment. The international team of volunteer specialists from LDS Charities will also train a local team of technicians and assessors, which includes persons with disabilities, to continue this program.
My name is Don Hart. I am a volunteer wheelchair technical specialist with Latter-day Saint Charities, which is the charitable or the humanitarian arm of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We've come to St. Lucia to implement what we call a wheelchair project. And first, I would just like to say what a beautiful island this is. We've met some wonderful people here. We are very happy to be here. I would also like to mention that this is actually a worldwide program. In 2017, the wheelchair program operated in 41 different countries, helping 49 1,000 individuals with wheelchairs and other mobility devices. But back to St. Lucia. The way we manage our programs is there's two pillars to our program, and the first one is the donation. This project consists of 138 wheelchairs that were designed by Latter-day Saint Charities. They're a fine wheelchair, and there are three different types: standard, active, and all-terrain. So they have different purposes. We have also donated 101 mobility devices, which consists of canes, crutches, and walkers. What we have done here is the second component of the program is the training component, which means that we brought 3 certified therapists with us. 2 are physical therapists, 1 is an occupational therapist, and 1 technician. The 3 therapists are training 3 therapists that are under the umbrella of our partner organization, which is the National Council of and for Persons with Disability here in St. Lucia. They have provided 3 clinicians or assessors who we trained yesterday, who are conducting assessments today through the end of the week. These assessments determine if an individual qualifies for a wheelchair, and if they do qualify, what type of wheelchair, and after the type is determined, the necessary adjustments so that they're comfortable for the user and will provide years of use.
As the country looks to increase its economic competitiveness, St. Lucians are benefiting from modern computer programming skills training. More in this report from Alicia Ali.
The 12-week pilot computer coding workshop was the realization of a partnership between the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations, and Sustainable Development alongside the Caribbean Science Foundation. It aims to increase student interest in science and engineering careers, especially that of computer science. Curriculum Specialist for Technology and Integration, Jermaine Anthony, said this workshop serves to encourage the formation of more globally competitive ICT companies.
It is really a bit scary if you think about artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, Internet of Things, and all of a sudden we are nowhere in the scope in terms of developing, producing, manipulating those things. We cannot continue to be just consumers looking out for the latest, Samsung, iPhone, and we have no role to play in development.
Cardinal Ward is a professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. Professor Ward also serves as the interim director of the Caribbean Science Foundation. He is encouraging more young people to consider a career in the field.
The big bucks is in computer science, where you're going to make life easy for lots of people by writing code that's succinct, short, powerful, using mathematical algorithms and tools to enable computers to do their job faster.
The pilot workshop, funded by the United States Embassy in Barbados, boasts of 20 diverse participants spanning gender and age categories. Participants' age ranges from 16 years old to 40 years old, while 1/3 of the participants are female. From the Communications Unit in the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations, and Sustainable Development, I am Alicia Ali reporting.
You are watching the CTV News. Stay tuned. There is more ahead.
This is Caribbean Greens. My name is Siobhan Constantine.
My name is Sheena Hippolyte. We have food for all animals. We start from the broilers, the regular chickens. We also have food for your pigs, for goats, for sheep, for cows, for horses. However, we have something concentrated for the horses called a horse ration.
A horse ration is something that mostly all the horse farmers were looking forward to get.
There's no additives, no substitutions, there's no chemicals in there. We have soy, it has soy, we have a high concentration of alfalfa in our horse rations, our small ruminants, and our rabbit pellets.
We are located in VG Castries behind Automotive Art Building, and we are located in Beaufort in the Free Zone.
You can contact me at sales@caribbeangrains.com, and also you can call the Beaufort branch. It's 454-3024. Also the Castries branch, you can call them, it's 452-5027.
Welcome back to the CTV News. 29 yachts have set sail for a journey around the world. They left from the IGY Rodney Bay Marina through World Arc, organized by the World Cruising Club. 29 yachts from 13 countries are participating. The Round the World Arc will end here in about 15 months after completing a 26,000 nautical mile journey around the world, making various stops along the way. The St. Lucia Tourism Authority, the SLTA, last week welcomed East London jazz musician Poppy Ajudah to the island. The young artist has recently won recognition for being featured in former U.S. President Barack Obama's list of favorite songs for 2018. Her duo track with Tom Misch, Disco Yes, has reached over 53 million Facebook fans and 20 million Instagram followers on the former president's social media pages.
And the grass is always greener on the other side. Maybe you should come take a trip sometime. Oh, you seem keener when they turn to night.
Poppy is no stranger to St. Lucia, where she vacationed frequently as a child. Her father is St. Lucian and her mother British. Poppy Ajudah hopes to engage young musicians here, especially young women.
In inverted ways we speak. She is the sum and she. You'll take your time to see why we make history. Desired water display, wept if fulfilling pain. Desired water display, like lusted in your game. She's sweet, ocean. Beneath the cosmos, she lives and she knows. Beneath the cosmos, she knows. Beneath the cosmos, she lives and she knows. Beneath the cosmos,
A third showing of Masquerade Master will take place this Friday at the Cultural Center. This after a phenomenal showing in November 2018 by the Youth in Arts Theatre Company. Masquerade Master will take place on January 18th at the National Cultural Center in celebration of St. Lucia's 2 Nobel laureates.
Louise Victor, Marketing Representative for Youth in Arts Theatre Company. The third staging of Masquerade Master is happening this Friday at the National Cultural Center. It's a full day of production actually to commemorate Nobel Laureate Week. It begins at 10 a.m. with the showing for the primary schools, and it goes into the afternoon at 1:30 for the secondary schools, and through which the theatre arts students who are actually sitting theatre arts for CXC, they will get to be part of that process to somewhat critique the work and whatnot. And then at 7:30 at the Cultural Center again, the third actual staging is happening for the general public. In November, the first and second staging were held, the 21st and 22nd. The reviews were phenomenal. The set was very, very impressive, and as well as how the kids were all able to hold their own, really communicate the character that they were all playing. And it was really something to marvel at. And a lot of people were saying that they were not aware, or just the timing was off, and hence the third staging, given that it will already be on for the schools. So we're inviting anyone, whether you love theater, whether you're not so sure how you feel about it, whether you're a literature fan, and it's all the work of St. Lucians. Masquerade Master is written by Drinia Frederick, and it is directed by Michelle Feebles, but the music is adapted and arranged by Barbara Ancaday. So we have a strong range of St. Lucian talent right there. In addition, the assistant director is Mrs. Shakira Roberts-Sanka. She is a teacher at the St. Mary's College. The music and vocal director is Mr. Jamie Ford, who is also a music director, and the dance director is Roxanne Didier Nicholas. So you have a young cast, you have young directors, all very, very passionate, and of course it is all produced by Mrs. Joan Frederick. So the last time there was the former Governor General was in attendance, Dame Paulette Louise, Paba, Monsignor Anthony was also in attendance. So, and the feedback collectively was really, really good. So we're encouraging people to come out and support the kids in this third staging.
The third showing will cater to a variety of age groups and will commence at 10 for primary schools, 1 p.m. for secondary schools, and 7:30 for the general public. This is the CTV News. There is more ahead. Stay with us.
What makes a great sign? Simplicity, creativity, huge and loud, small and quiet? At Excel Sign, we help clients all over St. Lucia create the perfect sign for their business needs. Our printing takes place right here with state-of-the-art machines to get the job done at the highest quality. We specialize in a wide variety of pylon signs, vehicle wraps, channel letters, billboards, 3D letters, and lots more. Designed to have high visibility, longer life, and great value. Call or visit Excel Sign today and find out how we can help your business express itself. Excel Sign, taking science further.
Welcome back to the CTV News. The annual Nobel Laureate Festival has been launched, unveiling the 2019 theme, Celebrating Excellence 40 Years On. The festival began with a church service and breakfast at the Mount of Prayer Kubaril last Sunday. Nobel Laureate Festival Committee Chair and former Governor General of St. Lucia, Her Excellency Dame Paulette Louise, remarked that 2019 was an extraordinary year to celebrate, as it also marks the 40th anniversary of the award of the Nobel Prize to Sir Arthur Lewis, given in 1979, the same year that St. Lucia gained its independence. It was with this milestone in mind that this year's theme, Celebrating Excellence 40 Years On, was chosen. We will have the details of the program in a subsequent broadcast. And finally, a check presentation has been made to the Cornerstone Center.
Prime Minister Honorable Alan Shastney commended the work of the Cornerstone Humanitarian Society as a donation was made to the organization on Tuesday this week. The donation stemmed from proceeds of the annual Prime Minister's Independence Ball, which last year already benefited 3 local charities, namely $15,000 to the Holy Family Children's Home, $15,000 to the School of Ballet and Modern Dance, and $30,000 to the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association.
Entities like Cornerstone are so critical because benevolence in a country and building up a country is not just about GDP or growing bananas or having tourism. The ultimate definition, I think, of a country is its character and its values. So the people in our society, in which, for me, I hold in highest esteem, are the people who are volunteering their time. But there are some people like you, Mr. Phillip, who, you know, I'm amazed that are willing to make those personal sacrifices to be able to help other people.
Thank you.
The check today really is a token, and it's to say, we see you, we hear you. Thank you for what you're doing.
The donation to Cornerstone, which is an organization that provides night shelter and a soup kitchen for the homeless at VG, stems from the value-added tax refund from the proceeds of the ball, amounting to $6,900. The handover of the funds was an emotional moment for Administrator Desmond Phillip, who spoke about the work of the organization.
I just want to say, sir, that I feel very fortunate in being a recipient of the funds that you have amassed from the initiative, and also thanks to Mrs. Shastney. She was the one who spearheaded this event. I want the public to know too that this is not a one-time event, that we seek funds all the time for different reasons, because it's a poor organization. So again, I want to say thank you, and thank you, Mr. PM, and thank you, Mrs. Shastney.
The inaugural ball in 2017 was able to donate about $60,000 to the Upton Gardens Girls Center. The Office of the Prime Minister is also getting set to host the 40th Anniversary Independence Ball event, which will surely raise even more funds for charity. Reporting for the Office of the Prime Minister, I am Nicole MacDonald.
I was in my neighborhood. It was a very dark night and I decided to go for a drink by a bar. On my way from the bar, I felt the sting to my right leg. And when I looked back, I knew it was a footless snake.
You happen to be in an area where there are snakes and you are bitten by a snake. This is what you do. You call for help and try to reach the Victoria Hospital within 1 or 3 hours. You will be seen immediately.
My uncle at the time was a police officer, called Victoria Hospital and told them that we're coming down for snake bite.
It is the only facility on the island which has a protocol and a treatment plan where you can be treated adequately.
We call them before you go there so they can prepare for you.
And rest assured that there are adequate supplies of antivenom with doctors who have been trained in the treatment protocols of the snake bite.